Yo, what's up PokeChamps, Infamous Trainer here, and today we're going to be talking about the unsung heroes of the Pokemon world. That being the powerful Pokemon that helped Ash's companions on their journey. I mean, we have options from Misty's sassy Staryu all the way to Gyarados. And not to mention Dawn has options like Togekiss or even Baniri, as a lot of these trainers had some serious powerful Pokemon behind them. So we'll be exploring the strongest Pokemon for each of Ash's companions. And yes, that does mean Max and Bonnie included. So let's shine some light on some of these overlooked Pokemon. But before we dive into it, I want to take a moment and talk about something just as important as having strong Pokemon, and that's being comfy like Ash Ketchum. And I'm sure you like to be too. Well, that's possible with today's sponsor, eWin. Do you want to upgrade your gaming experience to the next level? Well, look no further than the eWin Champion Series gaming chair. This chair is equipped with a headphone pillow and a lumbar cushion, providing maximum comfort and support for long gaming sessions. The 4D armrest can be adjusted in height, forwards and backwards, and even rotate in and out depending on your gaming needs. This level of customization allows you to optimize your comfort while gaming. And if you need a quick nap between games, the chair can adjust to a full 155 degree sitting position. This feature ensures that you can take a quick break and recharge before jumping back into the action. It also comes with the eWin Prime hubless wheels, providing a soft and smooth glide, making it easy to move the chair around your gaming setup. And the wheels are built to last, ensuring that you won't have to replace them anytime soon. Plus, with a heavy-duty design that can hold up to 400 pounds, this chair is built to last. You can rely on this chair to provide the support you need during your long gaming sessions. And let's not forget about the glittering Pure Leather. This material adds a touch of style to your gaming setup, making the chair look beautiful as it is functional. So why wait? If this sounds exciting and something that you need or want, check out the link in the description down below so you can get 20% off your next purchase using the promo code IT. And don't miss out so you can get your favorite color and style. Again, shout out to eWin for sponsoring today's video. I really appreciate it, and with that being said, let's go ahead and dive back into the content. Now, just like the original adventure, this all starts with Brock and his strongest Pokemon, Steelix. Brock's journey started off with a bang thanks to his starting Pokemon, Onix. This rock-solid Pokemon is an absolute icon for this gym leader, whether you're talking about the classic anime or the later games. Unfortunately, as the series went on, Onix became as useful as a pet rock. It couldn't win a battle to save its life, so it was reduced down to the role of punching bag and the utility Pokemon for the team. But that all changed when Brock's brother Forrest stepped in to help out. With some intense training and tough gym battles, Onix finally evolved into the Steelix it was always meant to be. And let me tell you, it became an absolute beast. It showed off its true power in the epic battle against Kiawe and Turtonator, using moves like Counter Shield Gyro Ball, Iron Tail, and Stone Edge to dominate the battle. And if you thought Steelix was strong before, it can now Mega Evolve, pushing its power to the next level, making it easily Brock's strongest Pokemon. Though some honorable mentions could be Crobat and Croagunk. Next up is first Pokegirl Misty and her strongest Pokemon, Gyarados. Funny enough, Gyarados used to be a Pokemon that scared Misty throughout the original series, but through some serious hard work, Misty finally managed to tame this beast. When the invincible Pokemon brothers threatened her gym and her Pokemon, Misty stepped up and showed Gyarados that it was willing to fight for it. And let me tell you, that was the start of a beautiful friendship. Gyarados and Misty became totally inseparable, and they even took down some serious opponents later on, as even in Sun and Moon we got to see an epic showdown between Misty and Ash, as we witnessed Gyarados straight up block Pikachu's Thunderbolt and Electro Ball with moves like Hydro Pump and Hurricane. And if that doesn't convince you, don't forget that this Pokemon can Mega Evolve, sending Gyarados to another level and making it even more of a threat. Which is something honestly I didn't expect when I first saw this episode, making it hands down Misty's strongest and most powerful Pokemon. Though an honorable mention has to go to Politoed. Next up is Tracy. Who? Yes, Tracy. And his strongest Pokemon is Scyther. Now Tracy's Scyther doesn't have the best moves, as it uses Slash, Cut, and Quick Attack. Like, where are the Bug and Flying type moves? Come on, Tracy! While it could benefit from some better moves, it's pretty quick and can dodge some decent attacks when it's battling. I mean, it is a pretty valuable asset on Tracy's team and is quite determined and loyal. Plus, it's like his only Pokemon with a proper battle experience, so making Scyther his strongest Pokemon by default. Next up is another fan favorite with May, and her strongest Pokemon is Blaziken. Come on now, you should have known. It's Blaziken, Mei's Blaziken at that. Of course, this being her original star that she received as a Torchic. Throughout the adventures in the Hoenn region, the two trained in every way possible to become powerful, evolving into Combusken and then Blaziken. The two became a very powerful pair in the realms of contest and in battles. Having iconic moments like Combusken versus Venusaur, or even Absol, that one was pretty cool. And of course, the very iconic Blaziken versus Sceptile battle, Ash versus Mei. It was epic, it was awesome. We all know Ash's Sceptile is one of his strongest Pokemon, and it's amazing to see that a companion has a Pokemon that can compete on that same level. And again, it was just epic to see Blaze and Overgrow go head to head. It was dope. Now, if only she had access to Mega Evolution to have a Mega Blaziken, it would just be almost unbeatable. But even without it, it is for sure Mei's strongest Pokemon. For Mei's honorable mention, I would have to say Glaceon. Now quickly, Max. And yes, I know he technically doesn't have any Pokemon, but I did say every Ash companion and this counts. So his strongest Pokemon is Jirachi. Now for those who don't know, this is a Pokemon that Max got close with within Pokemon Movie 6, Jirachi the Wishmaker. And for those who don't know, this movie is technically canon. Yes, it is canon. Simply due to the quick and overlooked scene of Ash remembering the Pokemon back in black and white. Though I know my bro and fellow champion Lumiose trainer Zach dove into this more, make sure you check out the video to see everything about it. But yeah, Max's strongest Pokemon is Jirachi. He's still a garbage character though. Next up is Pokemon Journey's favorite, Dawn. And her strongest Pokemon is Mamoswine. Now before you go all crazy, let me try to explain. Mamoswine is an absolute beast, a pretty strong Pokemon. Of course, it started out as a cute little Swinub who just loved to eat, but later evolved into a Piloswine which had a bit of an attitude, kinda reminding us of Ash's Charmeleon. When it evolved into Mamoswine, it wouldn't even listen to Dawn unless she had some food to bribe it with. But through time and training, their bond grew stronger, and Mamoswine became an absolute valuable asset on Dawn's team. Together they created even unique moves like Ice Armor, where Mamoswine would eat an ice shard covering itself in ice bites. Plus, throughout the series, Mamoswine has some impressive wins against tough opponents like Aggron, Granbull, Plusle, and Minun, and many more, cementing its place as Dawn's main powerhouse and brute bruiser. In my opinion, Mamoswine is definitively Dawn's strongest Pokemon. But of course, I have to give a mention to Piplup as well as Togekiss as honorable mentions because they're both strong. Now we have the kid turned champion, Iris. And hands down her strongest Pokemon is Haxorus. Originally the weak little dragon that Iris received from the village elder, it always got caught up in trouble and was providing comic relief, but as the series progressed, it became pretty strong and built up a good personality. Not to mention it learned moves like Dragon Rage, Giga Impact, and Outrage. And let's not forget that even as an Axew, it didn't get absolutely destroyed by Cynthia's Garchomp, but I do feel like she was holding back a little bit. Everything changed in Pokemon Journeys when we saw Champion Iris and her ace Haxorus in action. This time around, it was no longer the little weak dragon Pokemon, it was a true battler. I mean, it even gave Ash and his Pokemon a run for their money. Haxorus really came into his own in the Masters 8 battle against Garchomp, where the two titans clashed going head to head. Cynthia's Garchomp is one of the strongest Pokemon in the anime, by far, but Haxorus was able to push it back and even had Cynthia reveal her Mega Garchomp. And mind you that Iris didn't use a single gimmick with Haxorus. That means no Mega Evolution, no Z moves, no Dynamaxing. There is nothing that Haxorus used, but it was still really good in this battle. Just for the showcase of power alone, it shows why this is easily Iris' strongest Pokemon. Though of course, I give an honorable mention to Iris' Demon Dragonite because it's strong. Then of course we have Silent, and he doesn't have many options. So of course, his strongest Pokemon is Pansage. Out of all of Silent's Pokemon, it's one of the most synonymous to his character. Also, it's his go-to for most battles. It knows some pretty decent moves like Solar Beam, Dig, and Bullet Seed, and has defeated some tough opponents like Ash's Oshawott, Burgundy's Sawsbuck, and Flora's Gothorita. Now I still think Pansage is trash and would never stand up to Grookey in any way, but for Silent I would have to say it's the one. Also for honorable mention I would have to say it goes to Crustle because it's decent, maybe it's the better option, you guys have to let me know in the comments down below. Finally, Kalos with Clemont, and his strongest Pokemon is Chespin. What in the hell did you just say? No, Clemont's strongest Pokemon is Luxray. Originally, Clemont met this Pokemon as a Shinx with little to no power, and in doing so, it inspired Clemont to make his Clemontic generator, so that all electric types can recharge. Even though Clemont was supposed to catch it early on, it didn't happen until later when it evolved into a Luxio. Luxio eventually evolved into Luxray and became a key player in Clemont's gym battles. I mean, it even took down Ash's Hawlucha and Pikachu in their gym battle, but of course it lost to Goodra. I mean, Luxray is a total beast and even held his own against Ash's Greninja in a battle, which again sounds like a beast to me, so it easily places itself as Clemont's strongest Pokemon. And the honorable mention is Chespin, because I think it's funny. Just like Max, we have Bonnie. Again, she's not old enough to have a Pokemon, but she's had some strong Pokemon by her side. So her strongest Pokemon is Squishy, aka Zygarde. Now, I'm not going to explain the whole XY major plot points, but she befriended a Zygarde Corps that escaped Team Flare and helped it trust humans. Throughout its time, it took on many forms, like the Pupper 10% form and eventually the 100% Zygarde form, and there is just nothing damn stronger than this. So Zygarde is her strongest Pokemon. There's nothing stronger than this. Next up is everyone's favorite and most overrated, Serena. Easily her strongest Pokemon is Delphox. Though I hate Delphox. These two do mesh pretty well together and had an instant connection as she received it as a Fennekin. So early on, Fennekin was more focused on becoming famous and staying clean than battling, so it wasn't the greatest at battles. But after such a long time, it finally got some development and evolved into Braixen, which actually happened during a battle with Aria alongside Delphox and Aromatisse, another gross Pokemon. Then of course in Pokemon Journeys we got to see Braixen had evolved into Delphox and started performing in contests at a higher level. Though of course we didn't get to see the evolution, I could imagine that it was properly earned. Though I do wish Serena had caught an Absol like her game counterpart and had a Mega Absol. It would have been really cool and completed that team off, because Pancham kinda sucks too. Though Delphox does seem pretty strong, making it Serena's strongest Pokemon. Now for Alola, let's group them up a little bit. So for Mallow and Lana's strongest Pokemon, that of course is Serena and Primarina. Mallow's Battle Suite was always a great pal in the beginning of the series. They cooked together, they fought in battles decently, but things got even better when it evolved into Serena, and learned cool moves like Trop Kick and the Z move Bloom Doom. As for Lana, her connection with Popplio was instant. It saved it from danger and nursed it back to health, plus it was a solid battler with moves like Sing and Aqua Jet. Plus, when it evolved into Brionne, it learned from the opposing Primarina and became a master of the bubbles. It showed off tremendous power, and not to mention it mastered the Z move Oceanic Operetta. Operetta? Either way, it held its own against Guzma's toxic Golisopod, but unfortunately it did lose in battle. Now of course, neither of them are going to be a Blaziken or even a Piplup, but there's some pretty solid strong Pokemon. Then we have Sophocles and Kiawe, and their strongest Pokemon being Vikavolt and Turtonator. Sophocles doesn't have many Pokemon to choose from as he only has 2, but Vikavolt has been holding it down. It hasn't had much experience in battles and has been more helpful on the side of Soph's other goals and dreams. It does have some decent moves like Wild Charge, Zap Cannon, and Signal Beam, and don't forget about the Z move Savage Spin Out. Now for Kiawe, the Turtonator is surprisingly amazing. I know some people would have said Marowak or Charizard, but no, it's easily Turtonator. Turtonator has an impressive move pool with Flamethrower, Dragon Tail, and Shell Smash. From the beginning, this Pokemon has helped Kiawe in battles against Team Skull, Mad Magmar, Mr. Electric, and even Gladiion's Lycanroc. Plus, it's even mastered the Z move Inferno Overdrive, it's used it so much, which easily makes these two Pokemon the strongest Pokemon for these two trainers. Now look, I almost forgot about Lily. She only caught one Pokemon being Snowy, which is the Alolan Vulpix, but hopefully one day it'll evolve into an Alolan Ninetales. Finally, Journeys, and we have Chloe. Nah, I would never ever talk about this trash character. Finally, we have Journeys with Go. Now Go makes this a bit harder because he has tons, and I do mean tons of Pokemon, and even has 2 legendaries. Though I think hands down the strongest Pokemon he has might be Cinderace. At first I wasn't into this pick, but now I'm totally into it. Like, Go has so many cool Pokemon to choose from, like Suicune, Golurk, Darmanitan, and others. but the bond between Go and Cinderace is just so strong it makes him the obvious choice. Not to mention, Cinderace has some good experience under his belt as well, as being one of the few Pokemon that Go has Dynamaxed, and has even taken on other legendary Pokemon like Mewtwo, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, so it's pretty stacked up when battling. And of course, Go's Cinderace was his go-to option when it came to capturing Eternatus and Regieleki. So for all those reasons, I'm gonna say that Go's strongest Pokemon is Cinderace. Though honorable mention to Inteleon, Regieleki, and Suicune. Alright Pokechamps, and that's gonna wrap it up for this video. We've covered every single Ash companion and their strongest Pokemon. But of course, some of you may disagree, so let me know in the comments down below. Who should have made it into the top spot? And of course, if you want to see more Pokemon content, be sure to smash that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and share the video out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!